Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. In today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the latest offering from Gigapower. This is their Gigasaurs Master Robot HQ-02 Grassor with glorious artwork by Spike Art. Now this is of course their Grassor but done in the metallic paint scheme as opposed to the chrome. And not only does the artwork on the front change, so does the information given on the back here. We've got new photos of him in his metallic mode, and we've got some pictures of him next to the metallic gutter, and him with all of his accessories. This is aimed at ages 15 plus and includes choking hazards. Grassor comes packaged in his robot mode in a big styrofoam shell, and let's not forget we have a number of accessories housed in the rear of the styrofoam. Here he is out of his polystyrene prison, and I do love that kind of smoked grey he's got going on. It's a very good look for him. He is of course Gigapower's interpretation of Dinobot Slag, and he is massive. Let's just take a look at the accessories that he comes with. We have two silver and black rocket launchers. We have his black and red tipped rifle. We have his light up sword. We get the flame effect for the sword and the add-on attachment for the Dino Breath flame effect. We get the smoked accessories for the G1 style Dino mode and more of them, and another one. We get the leg fillers in case you wish to have the dino legs on the outside. We get a set of replacement hips for gutter. For those of you who had problems with breakage, this is a brand new styled ratchet set. It is ridiculously tight and it looks the bee's knees. It's done the same way as they've done with Grassor, so it's much improved. And finally, if you're not happy with how your Grassor looks, why not change out those red horns for silver ones, or those black thighs for silver? And who needs a smile when you've got a growling red face? And not happy with your expressions in silver, we get the same expressions done in the red. So there's a fair few accessories that come with Grassor. That's something I really like about the Gigapower guys. They overload us with awesome accessories. See, now Gigapower caught me off guard with this. Last time round they gave us the metallic gutter followed by the chrome gutter. And I thought, oh, metallic gutter's great. Then chrome came out. I was like, whoa, I must have the chrome. This time round they gave us the chrome Grassor followed by the metallic Grassor. Once again, I was like, whoa, the metallic one looks awesome. I love my Dinobots, I really do, but there's this huge rivalry between Fans Toys and any other brand which seeks to challenge them or release something similar. I actually have a mixture of Dinobots. I have some Fans Toys and some Gigapowers. I just like big, huge, chunky dino robots. And I don't see why we should have to choose between one or the other. I don't see why anybody should make judgment on somebody else for picking a certain toy. I own a lot of Fans Toys figures and they are fantastic, but I prefer the size and aesthetic of the Gigapower dinos. So there we go. He is a glorious beast of a bot, isn't he? Gigapower may be slow in producing these, but I think they can take as long as they need to, as long as they deliver a good quality product, which is exactly what they've done here. Paint applications on him are very clean throughout. They're very vibrant. They're not without their flaws. If you look just up here, I have a little bit of red that's bled on to the gold where it was sat down there like that. That's pretty much the only flaw I've found. So, you know, that's pretty good going, and that could probably be picked off. I just need to take my time to do so. I absolutely love these little circuitry sections here, and I love how the kind of painted up coppery brassy colour really does match up nicely with that smoked silver, even more so I think than the chrome. Coming up to the arms, we've got this clear translucent arm sections again. We've got all of this circuitry all highlighted, and this added silver sections here really does make those pop. And here we have both the Grassors together. Does this qualify as a herd of Grassors? I have no idea. They both look very, very nice indeed. As a preference, I don't know. I think, as much as I love the shiny chrome, I think I prefer the metallic out of the two. It's just something about it. It just feels kind of more reminiscent of the G1 kind of animation. I know it's not the same as the G1 animation. I mean, if we were going to be accurate, we'd have this as like a bright yellow, for example, but it's got that really nice kind of G1 vibe to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this guy up. I'm going to put the black head on him, and I'll have him as the toy version, and I'll put the smoked sections on him, and I'm going to switch this out for the red head. I'm going to switch the two horns out for the silver, and I'll switch the thighs out for the silver as well, and I'll have him as the animation counterpart. Let's just take a look at the articulation. The head can look up that much, and we can go down, we can go left, and we can go right. We do get some nice quizzical tilting going on there as well. The shoulders are on fantastic ratchet joints. Out to the side on a very stiff ratchet. I mean, they can hold a ridiculous amount of weight. I think this one's even stiffer. Yeah, but you know, there's no fear of any breakage there, just very robust joints. The upper bicep has a rotation. We have a bend at the elbow. We have rotation on the wrist. We have individually articulated fingers, and we have an individually articulated thumb. The fingers are ball mounted with 2 additional points of articulation. We get a friction joint for the waist swivel. We have front, side and rear hip skirts, allowing for some nice range forwards, backwards and out to the side. Now, they could probably do with being tightened slightly, but that's because there's so much heft in these legs. I mean, if you're going to try and do a high kick, then yes, chances are it may fall down over time, but if you're just going to pose him in your display, I don't think there's going to be any issues there. If we bring the knees up, we've got just shy of a 90-degree bend. We do get rotation in the thigh there. We do get this kind of sideways knee bending action going on due to the transformation, and the toes can pivot sideways and we can move them forwards and backwards. We've got no real movement there on the heel spurs, but it's much the same as what we got with the official Masterpiece Grimlock. Now, switching out the head on this guy is relatively easy. They are just ball mounted, so we can just pop them off. But I want to change out the faceplate as well. So for that, you have to unscrew these 2 screws here, and that now gives us access to the inner workings of the head. Now, bear in mind that the blue visor is non-translucent and the red one is translucent, so you can put 2 LR626 batteries in here and you can make that glow. But I do believe that with my chrome version of Grassor, we actually got a blue translucent visor as well and a solid red one. So it's kind of mixing and matching. These are all interchangeable. But for now, I'm just going to swap out this faceplate here. So we're going to keep that blue visor on, and we're going to pop the faceplate through. Now let's go for the angry face still, shall we? So let's bring in the angry face, slide that down into that gap, and then bring in the back of the head. And there we have his angry face. As previously mentioned, the head is mounted on a ball, so just get a firm grip and just pull off like so, and vice versa to reattach. The horns are super duper easy. They are just slotted in, so we can remove both of those and then bring in their replacements. And the most difficult part of the modification is to remove these thighs. There's 3 pretty tight screws. So undo this one, and this one. This will allow you to pry the thighs apart. And then taking a look at the inside of the leg, you can't get these wrong. They're already labelled up with an R and an R, so we know which one is the right. And basically we just need to replace this cog section, the spring and the bar section, which go in here. And this can be done by just holding on and just sliding this section off. Just make sure that you don't lose the spring. The best way of doing that is just by holding this section off and then taking that off, sliding this section out slowly along with the spring. Let's feed that back in, going spring first. The outer leg will just slide off, and you need to remove all 3 screws and switch them over to the silver piece. Also, you'll need to remove the kneecap section. That just slots out and then slots back in. Slide the joint back on and just push and compress those together, and then do up the screws. We have the silver thigh on. Which do you prefer? I do prefer the silver. I think it looks really nice with this dark grey. It goes nicely with the chest section there, and it does seem more animation inspired to me. Here he is alongside the metallic gutter. These two do look fabulous together, don't they? I just love how dominating they are. They're such big, kind of chunky bots, and they look fantastic on display. If you haven't already seen my display, I'll include a link at the end of the video to how I've currently got it set up. I don't have a lot of room in this bungalow, and obviously I work out of a shed, so there's not really a lot of room for displaying things in a shed. So I've got a couple of units, and my Dinobots are perched nicely on top with ratchet and wheeljack, just giving them some minor tweaks. Now, as impressive as the joints on this guy are, for the fact that he can actually hold this up without any movement at all in the shoulders and the elbows, the wrists really could do with being tightening. I mean, this sword with the plastic on there, it is extremely heavy, and the slightest movement will encourage these hands to kind of spin just under the weight. But I mean, they're not going to come out, and I mean, not many people will pose him with the sword kind of out tilted, but that's just something you need to bear in mind, that the wrists are on a swivel and there's a lot of weight involved with that plastic. Now, as lovely as his robot mode looks, he is a transformer, so let's get him transformed up into his dinosaur mode. Open up the chest section, bring the head around and down, and close this section back off, like so. Open up this section, rotate them round, make sure the fingers are collapsed, and push the hands inside so that this section here is flush. Bend the knees to the side, lift up the retaining tab. That now allows us to gain access to the rear of the leg, where we can swing these ball-mounted dino legs outwards and bring this section down. Rotate the waist 180 degrees, tilt the toes back, rotate the thighs, and then with the legs resealed and locked, you can then start to bend them inwards, and that's going to line up nicely with the underbody. Do that on both sides, and bring the tail section up and over, and don't forget to flip out and rotate your tail tip. Tab all of those in, push these shoulder sections, and they actually slide in and collapse. They are just going to line up and insert nicely either side, tidying up Grassor's underbelly. Unfold the hind legs and just grabbing this section here and the hind leg, give it a wiggle and pull, and extend the leg fully, and then just pull out the toe section. Make sure that the tail is lipped over both sections on the inside, and then join these all together. Bring down the mouth plate, it's tabbed in on the underside there. You want to just bring that down, give that a rotation and move that upwards. And if you like, you can also bring down his flame cannon like so, and have that mounted inside. Oh, the blue eyes look so much better. And there he is, the chunky Potatosaurus in all of his glory. I really love how this looks in Dino mode. I think it knocks the socks off the Scoria. Yes, the Perfect Fusion version does look very nice, but this is fine for me. I love how it looks. I mean, if we bring in, for example, the oversized Grimlock, until Giga can give me T-Rex, I think these look perfect together. I can't knock them. Here we have him alongside Grimlock and Metallic Gutter. They look good together. It is a different kind of coppery tone, but that being said, it doesn't look completely untoward, and it's still very passable in my opinion. Now, somebody's bound to ask for a group shot with the Fans Toys Dinos. I only have these two at the moment. I got rid of the others, they're the only two that remain in my collection, and to be honest with you, they do not look out of place. This is how I have them displayed, and yeah, I think I'm going to be keeping my Chrome Grassor and Chrome Gutter over to one side on a separate shelf, and I think I'm going to have all these guys displayed with maybe with Toy World's Constructor. I think have them battling him, or maybe as I had them with Ratchet and Wheeljack, building and fixing them. Let's just take a look at his articulation in Dino mode. The head can look up slightly and down. We can pivot left and right, and we can twist slightly to the left and the right as well. The movement is only hindered by these big bony frill section. These can swivel left and right. The mouth itself can open and close. As previously mentioned, that is a ball mounted. And we do get the flamethrower section here where we can attach the accessory. The shoulders can come out to the side. Get that rotation. We get a bend at the knee, both forwards and backwards. And we do get a little up and down motion on the toe. With the rear of the legs, they're ball mounted, so we can go all the way around. We do get a nice deep bend at the knee, and we get some pivoting there on the toe. Coming around to the tail, we can swish that left and right quite comfortably. Now, to attach the sword flame accessory, just slide this end over the flamethrowers and then attach the flame into that section like so, and there we have him breathing fire. You can also attach the G1 style smoke sections. They look nice, they look just like the G1 toy, but bear in mind that these are little dust magnets. You can attach the missiles at the top of the thigh or at the bend of the knee, and that's the same on both sides. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the metallic version of Grassor by the guys over at Gigapower. This is their HQ-02. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I personally do prefer this to the Chrome version, but that being said, the Chrome version is still very nice in its own right, and is still going to have a very proud place in my collection. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy lives to watch my content. From myself and Grassor, goodbye.